So let's talk ayahuasca. I had a lot of people reach out, message me, ask me about it. I told you I'd put a video out here. So let's do it. I want to preface this by saying I am no expert. I have gone and done ayahuasca in Costa Rica twice. I've been working with a spiritual guide, teacher for about a year that I met out there. But this is my experience. And the truth is everybody's experience is different. My second time was so much different than my first time. And even if this video was 3 hours, you really can't explain the magic and the miracles that happen with ayahuasca unless you go and do it yourself. And I can tell you this, for me at least, it was a calling. For many people I talked to, it was a calling or something inside of me that wanted to go and experience this. And it's one of the best gifts I've ever given myself, and I will continue to do it. So you can look up what ayahuasca is and how natural it is, how long it's been around. What I can tell you is this is not your mushroom acid trips of the sort of stigma attached to it, right? This is a beautiful, beautiful psychedelic that I would not consider a drug in any way, shape, or form. The war on drugs was not one, but the stigmas were attached to it, and I don't even want the United States to legalize it because Pfizer will mess it up. But totally different. Do your research. You can find out a little bit about it. And again, everything in this is my opinion. So I go to a place called Rhythmia. It is a beautiful resort. It's 7 days, 4 nights of ceremony, massages, classes that are so epically important. And I can tell you, you feel so incredibly safe. These shamans and shaman assistants are angels. They are gifts that are there to make sure you are safe, that you are taken care of. And it is some of the most beautiful people in the world. And this is not easy. This is no vacation. So if you think you're going to go and have fun, and this is hard. This is 2 of the hardest weeks of my life. And I've had some hard weeks, as I'm sure you have too. But at the other side of uncomfortability and hard work is always joy. And the joy that you receive, I said this earlier, right when I woke up Friday morning after 4 nights, that Rhythmia is the definition of hard work pays off, because the joy that you get at the end of this, 97% of people, they keep the stats, again, do the research. It can only be compared to this childish, true joy. And what you do there, so Rhythmia and many places, it's just I've only been there. You work off intentions, and the first ones are show me what I've become, merge me back with my soul at all cost, and then heal my heart. And the belief is that at some point in time we split, and it's usually between ages 2 and 6, and it can be something really big as far as divorce or being molested or something horrible, or as small as just feeling like you have to work hard and you're not accepted, you're not loved, and our souls split. And the intention is to bring that back together. And that journey that you go on, and I know journey, so, but it's a journey, right? We're just going to use that word, is beautiful, and it's really hard. And the medicine will just show you what's inside of you, right? It's your subconscious that is coming to light, and there's no running away from it. The medicine is in control, and the surrender is epically important. And my first trip out there, I'm a little bit controlling and like to hold on, and the surrender was harder. It was harder for me to get there, and yet I still had a beautiful experience. And let me say that unless you've done this, some of the things I'm going to say are pretty out there, and I understand that. And if you've done it, you understand what I'm saying, that this stuff happens. It is not that you're on a trip and you're hallucinating. I have had very real experiences on other planes of existence, of very real, very true things that for me. And when you do that, right, and when I went the first time, I saw my younger self, I held my younger self, and we went through some hard times, and I was able to release so much. And the surrender was tough, though. It was not easy for me to do. And this time, my trip out there was totally different. I found a deeper surrender than I've ever ever felt. The medicine, which is so smart, Mother Ayahuasca is smarter than you could possibly imagine. And when you let her take control, she's going to show you what's coming is going. So when you feel shame, guilt, anxiety, you know that that's what you're releasing. And we'll talk about the sickness and everything else. And maybe, who knows where this is going to go. But this trip, it was immediate. There was no struggle. This was first night, took my shot, and it was immediate. I was in the medicine. The coincidence that happened there are no coincidences. It was the first night in breath work. I saw this beautiful paper mache trees waving in the wind, and of course I'm in line to go get my first shot, and what do I see? A tree that I've never seen before sitting on this mantle, and it was the exact tree. And I knew in my heart I was in the right place. And I got into the medicine quick. And again, the amount of things that I went through consciously, I can't explain on this, let alone what I went through unconsciously. And what I can tell you is that what it showed me, I live a lot. My emotional home, so to speak, can be shame and guilt from my past, from my childhood, and no knock on your parents or anything. They did the best they could, and my parents were amazing. But we all have these things, and I lived a lot in that. And I got to face that. I got to see a lot of what I carry, and the end result is that I am unconditionally and universally loved by Spirit, Universe, God. And with all my faults, with all my mistakes, with everything I've done, I no longer need to carry that, and it is a choice whether I carry that or not. And that is my choice moving forward. And this came through, again, 4 nights of ceremony and hours on little sleep of really facing hard things. And that's where you go. You go to the hard stuff. You don't go to the easy stuff, because you're here to do the work. And what's on the other side of that, like I said, is immaculate joy. And if you know me, I like big, and it's got to be this big thing. And one of the hundreds of different things that happened to me, I go for the medicine, and it tastes awful. But the more you drink, the more you heal, and I go after it. If I can hear the call, I go for the call. And on Ladies' Night, which is the Divine Feminine, which is my absolute favorite night every time, I just connect with that. I got a double shot, and that was intense. And I laid down and immediately felt this unconditional love. And I was going up it's like this tower, almost like this lighthouse. And I felt my younger self, my older self, past life self following me up there. And it was beautiful. There was like decorations and everything. I remember thinking, oh man, they've got Party City out here, and who did this for me? Who set this up? It's so beautiful. And I got to the top of the tower, and I just saw this like cheap picture frame, and there was a bunch of stuff on it. I couldn't really see it, but in my heart I knew that I had to take this off the wall. And I took it off the wall, and just like that, through all the other experiences that I had, because day 2 follows day 1, day 3, it was stop carrying all this crap. The past is the past, and you are loved. And what a just beautiful, epically amazing feeling. And if this is not hitting for you, I get it. But man, just like that, I'm talking 10, 15 years of therapy like that, the choice to no longer carry that. And then so many things happened, man. I mean, when I say in the medicine, I was just processing so much, and at one point I'm riding rockets, I'm getting cloned, I turned to code, all this crazy stuff, right? I could go on and on and on, but the truth is this story is personal. A lot of this is personal, and integration is the key. And I failed at that the last time. I talked about it too much. I'm a storyteller, and every time I did it, dumbed it down a little bit. So this go around, I know that I trust that over the next weeks and months, I will feel more answers will come. She's still working, right? I call her she. Mother Ayahuasca is still working inside of me and showing me things that I need to see and things that I want to face to improve myself, to make myself the best dad, businessman, husband, friend, son, brother, that I can possibly be. And I trust that. I trust that in my heart. My heart was healed. Physically, I felt my heart being healed. I was impregnated with self-love. Call me, I'll tell you that story. It was wild. And at the end of this was joy, freedom, joy. And what happens now is the integration. I've heard it explained one time that ayahuasca is like taking your brain and pouring wax over the top of it. And now it's our job to start building those neural pathways to change, because the ego is going to fight. The ego doesn't want to change that. The ego is our amigo, right? It is our friend. I've heard it's not our amigo. It is. It's gotten me so far. It's protected me. It's made me safe. It's made me successful. But now, I'm sorry, you're not needed here anymore. What we're going to do for ourselves is good. Come along on the ride with me. And I don't want to go on and on. It's a long video as it is, and it can be so long. What I can tell you that is, if you feel the calling to go and try ayahuasca, do it. It is a gift that you will give yourself. It is hard, and it is beautiful, and it's funny, and it's fun, and you meet the most amazing people, and you're cared for, especially if you decide to go to Rhythmia. It's a chance. It's a way to get to know yourself better than you ever possibly could. And I'm not knocking therapy or anything else. And this is a turbo boost into facing everything that you need to face. And if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to see your shortcomings, your positives, the things that you had no control of as a kid, that split and merge back with that and carry that heart with you the rest of your life, it's a beautiful thing. I was able to release so much. I worked on things like the opinions of others, my opinions of other people, my opinions of myself. I am not my body, that this thing that I project, that we all project. Nothing is more important than spirit. Nothing at all. that will live on forever. And I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to have this opportunity to improve and make myself better. And I will continue. There's always improvement. This is not, there's no finish line to the game of self-improvement and the game of joy and the game of true fulfillment, true self-love. And ayahuasca gives you that. It is a gift. It is a blessing. And you help yourself. What's good for you, it's good for others. So that's my short rendition of this amazing, amazing plant medicine that I hope more and more people go after. If you're interested, please reach out, talk to me. I can also set you up with people at Rhythmia. I can give you some more information. It's a joy. Life is a joy, and I'm happy to be in it. If you made it through this whole video, I appreciate you. If you're not seeing this, I still appreciate you, and I appreciate me. Okay.